Hi guys, thank you for coming back. This is episode 2 in my Road to Influencing series, or my journey to becoming an influencer, micro-influencer, whatever you want to call it. The first episode was sort of about when I got serious about it and what that looked like for me. This one I wanted to be more about I've got serious about it. What's next? Or what now? Let's just get started. So, I think when it comes to wanting to become an influencer on any sort of social platform, you need to ask yourself the question, why are you doing this? It might be a cliche, it might be one of those things where you think, well, I don't have a deeper meaning for this, I just want to be given free stuff, and that is fine if that's why you're doing it, but I need you to realize that your journey might look slightly different than it does for everyone else out there. The same way that my journey is going to look different from your journey or anyone else that I follow in this same realm. And I think when you find something that is not the free stuff that motivates you to do it, it's going to become easier, because having this short-term motivation of getting free stuff might be great short term, but then once you've gotten the free stuff, what is next? Like, what is going to keep you going? What is going to make you create content on a day where you really don't want to make it and you're still going to be happy about that? If you know what I mean. Now, for me, I think when I started creating content, it was very much about my sneakers, because I was just really passionate about sneakers, and I started buying more and more and more, and I just really got into different, it started off with Yeezys, I'll be honest, and my cabinet is still predominantly filled with Yeezys, and like I started branching out to some of the Jordan silhouettes, but that's where it all started for me. And so I started exploring different models, different colors, different shapes, some that are slightly more out there than others, and I was excited about sharing that. And that's when I realized that I actually really enjoyed sharing that, which then started being my content. And I was happy to do this, and I was happy to constantly create content because I was excited about what I was doing. Gradually over time, I started realizing I actually really like styling and fashion and clothing just as much as I do sneakers. So it was a happy sort of bridge where I could start combining the both of them. And so that became my content. And so more and more and more, I realized that my content started revolving around this world that is fashion. And for me personally, the way I'm creating content is showing out my outfits. I was talking to Ray the other day on Instagram, I'll link him below, and we were talking about how our own Instagram pages, him for himself, me for myself, is our outfit inspiration. Like, I'll go on my Instagram and I'll go through all of the content that I've created at some point, and I think, what do I want to wear today? And I think that's why I'm still continuing to make the content that I am making at the moment, and the reels and the outfits and the outfit grids and all of those things there, because to me, that, like, I'm passionate about that. I like styling different things together, and I like finding a new brand and styling some of those things into it. I like all of those things, and for me, that's when I started gaining traction, because I subconsciously created a solid content plan. Then consciously, I started making more of a plan based on that plan. So when and how do I post? It's a mix. I'll create content as I go. I'll buy a new t-shirt and straight away I'll make an outfit grid. I'll come up with some ideas of how I want to style it. And then whenever I'm out, whether I'm on my way to work, whether I'm out shopping, whatever it is, I'll create a reel to go with that. And then my outfit grids are becoming sort of a catalog. so that whenever a photographer reaches out to me and goes, hey, want to do a test shoot, I've got this and this in mind, I'm able to sort of send all of my outfit grids that I've not got content for, and that's the catalog of outfits that the photographer can choose from. Which means to me that the way I'm styling my new piece of clothing is going to be my content. Like, I've already decided this is how I want to style it. I might have 3 or 4 different outfit grids with the same item, but this is how I want to style it. And then my content is going to be created by a photographer who is happy to work with me and has the feeling that he or she's choosing the outfit, but all of the available choices are still choices made by me, if that makes sense. So on the first day that I buy a new piece of clothing, I can have 2 pieces of content to go with that clothing already, and the third one is planned. It just needs execution. And so then for a week, that's my content sorted, and then I restyle it with a different item. And so that's sort of how I create my content. How do I post it? It sort of depends on the week, on the day, on what weather it's like. I've still got some drafts with some pretty warm clothing, which obviously I'm not going to post in the middle of summer. And so I kind of look at how I feel that week. Normally I'll schedule my static posts. So there's just a picture or carousel. I'll schedule them with the in-app scheduling tool from Instagram. And then my reels, I tend to plan ahead but not schedule, because I want to be able to choose the music that is trending at the moment on the day itself. And as you know, the music that is trending can change overnight, and so I don't tend to schedule that. But I always try to post at least 2 reels and 2 pictures every week. And the third or the second reel often it's almost like a bonus reel that's not always relevant to the outfit, but sometimes it's just an addition to what's going on that week. So that could be an unpacking video, that could be an update video. Like I posted a video the other week about H&M and Mugler collection being online again after some what I can only assume was online returns. So it's like one of those in-between videos that I'll post just because it's relevant. And so when I post, it depends. I sort of tend to post either early in the morning, like 8:40, 8:45, just right before people get to work, quickly go on their phone and have a look, or after 8 at night when people have got home, they've had their teas, they've had food, they've chilled, they're sat down on a couch and they're going through Instagram. I do admittedly need to have a look at my analytics a bit more, just because I think there's a lot of room for improvement there. I've just not really looked at my analytics as much in depth before. So like when do I post still is a work in progress, but in terms of like my content planning and my content plan in general, I think for Instagram I've got it quite nailed down as to how I go about it, especially because my influencing career is growing alongside my modeling career. So the influence of photographers and the influx of photographers in my life at the moment is a big help to my influencing career, because it's allowing me to generate content on 2 ends. Because obviously any of the test shoots that these photographers do with me also gives them content, but I know that I'm going to get the content that I want, whilst providing them with their content as well. And so then when did I get my first deal? It's funny, you know, because same as modeling, and I always had this sort of preconception of what a model or what an influencer should look like. For modeling, I thought physically it looked like. For influencing, I thought the amount of followers and the amount of engagement and like what their typical profile would look like. And you know, just having just over 1,000 followers on Instagram in my head did not qualify for that. And because I'm happy to create the content that I'm creating just for me, my focus was never to get free stuff. And then because I'm creating the content I'm making and I'm enjoying doing that, it shows that I'm enjoying doing it, and it allows me to be consistent in what I'm doing. A brand called Liquor and Poker actually reached out to me into my DMs out of nowhere to sort of say, hey, we really like your content, we really like your style, and we'd love to shoot with you, modeling. And after some going back and forth, that is still on the table. But they also wanted to work with me on Instagram, as in they would gift me outfits, they would send me outfits, and I would create content with it the way I was already creating content, but then with their clothing. And so obviously I said yes to that because I had a look at their website, I had a look at their clothing, and I thought it was actually really, really dope. And so I was really excited because I'd never seen this coming from miles away, because I thought I was not at the right stage for something like this. And so that happened. And then after the first lot of content went online, I got a message asking whether we could make this a monthly thing, which means that at this point I am creating content monthly with Liquor and Poker garments or clothing, and I'm able to choose outfits monthly to sort of accommodate that happening as well. And so for me, this happened early May, I want to say, which means that I was really only 2 months into my modeling thing. But when I started taking my content online serious, that was all the way back in August. So if you really think about it, it was a good 9-10 months for me before creating content, finding a style, finding a content plan, sticking to my content plan, starting creating reels. That was a big game changer as well. It must have been a good 10 months before it sort of paid off in a way, for me to end up receiving free goods, obviously in exchange for my services in a way. But yeah, it's not going to be a quick process. And I think, because I'm going to repeat myself, because I enjoy making the content already that I do anyway, I'm not focused on getting the free stuff, because that's not a drive for me to make the content. I'm not making content because I want free stuff. I'm making content because I enjoy making content. And it's like a lookbook. It's like a CV for me, so that brands can see that I can put a good looking reel together, and brands can see that I've got a sense of styling, and I can go back on my Instagram and be like, right, I don't have any inspiration for what to wear today. Let's have a quick look at, what have I worn before? Or I see 2 outfits next to each other and I never thought about putting stuff together, but hey, why not? Let's give it a try, sort of thing. And so that's it really. What I want to know from you though is, do you feel like you're focusing on the right thing? As in, what takes priority for you at the moment? You want to become an influencer? What are you focusing on? Let me know in the comments below. And also, as you know, the channel is still very small, and it would be immensely appreciated if you could subscribe, and share this with a friend who needs to see this. Thank you so much for making it till the end of this video, and hope to see you soon. Bye.